For all the latest updates, subscribe to News9.
Hello and welcome to News 9 Digital. I'm Andrea D'Souza. Today I'll be talking about a very serious issue, which is the increase in the cases of domestic violence during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, not only India, but different countries across the world have noticed a spike in the domestic violence cases during the ongoing pandemic. This has many reasons, but one of the most important reasons is that the lockdown that was imposed across different countries in the world. Now, every family has issues, but having to stay in a house with other people who probably you have an issue with for an extended period of time, running into a few months, can cause few eruptions at times. And that's why the lockdown has actually caused many people to report such issues of domestic violence. Besides the lockdown, as we know, people have also been facing different financial stressors. Now, many companies have laid off their employees, so that's why people find themselves without a job. Financial insecurities, while other people have had to take a decrease in their pay. Now, these concerns have also caused frictions within people, and this could contribute to the increase in the cases. Now, domestic violence is something that is very severe and something that needs to be taken seriously. What do you think about when we talk about domestic violence? Well, we might think about a husband being violent towards his wife, but not only that, domestic violence can also include a wife being violent towards a husband or family members being violent towards each other. Domestic violence is a huge umbrella that includes all these things. What are the forms of domestic violence? Of course, you have physical abuse, wherein a person physically harms, beats or injures another person. You also have emotional abuse, when a person is constantly criticized, constantly spoken ill of, or constantly spoken bad things about. These things can affect a person's emotions. You also have financial abuse. Now, what is financial abuse? If a person is not given money, or if a person is taken money from without that person's consent. So again, domestic violence and abuse has many different forms that we see. The most common, of course, being physical violence. Now, the first thing that you need to know in domestic violence is it's not the person's fault and there's always a way out. Keeping that in mind, there are also other things that a person can keep in mind. Now, I'm going to give you a few tips that you can keep in mind in case you yourself are a victim of domestic violence, or you know someone else who can be helped in such a situation. The first thing that you need to keep in mind is go away from the place when you know that the person might be getting violent towards you. Of course, in a lockdown, as we were earlier, not now anymore, we know that you cannot really go away, but probably you can go to your room and you can lock your room, or probably you can go to the landing of your apartment. So move away from the area, from the physical area where the other person is. This would give both parties, or probably more people involved, time to actually cool down, and probably you all can resort and sit and discuss the issue once things have settled down slightly. Now, another thing that people can also do is, besides moving away from the place, keep in mind the triggers that the person experiences before getting violent. We all know, though some people just abruptly do have difference and changes in moods, but there are certain triggers that people face after which they tend to have a certain emotion. These triggers might be certain words that are used, or certain actions, or certain things that just irritate a person. Be aware and pay attention to these triggers. So for instance, I'll give you an example. If you know that there is something that bothers your husband or your wife, and you know that that thing is happening at the moment, be aware of it and know that, okay, fine, there are chances that things can escalate now. So what is it that I need to do? As I said, you can move yourself away from this situation. The third thing, very important, that you need to keep in mind is have a set of support system for you. May it be your family members, may it be your friends, your colleagues, or your neighbors. Have a support system and don't feel shy or don't feel afraid of involving these people. Now, of course, we don't have to involve people in everything, but involve them. Tell them your situation, tell them your problem. So in future, if you find yourself in this situation, you have someone to go to and you have another person who will actually come and intervene. And in certain situations, I must say, intervention also helps, because that can again cool off the situation. Another important point that you can keep in mind is be prudent and record information. Now, in case there is a person who's constantly abusing you, you can probably record it, record the dates. If you are injured, record it. If you have taken certain medication because of physical violence, keep those medication, keep that prescription. This might sound little different from the normal things that you have heard, but yes, in the long run this can help you. Recording information, you never know, it can always help you when it comes to your word versus the other person's word. Now, another thing that you can also do is seek help and report the case. Many people not only world over but also in India, and especially in India, I would say, they do not want to report cases of domestic violence because, of course, we are afraid of the stigma that is attached to domestic violence. We believe that no, it needs to remain in the house. I do not want police to come to my house. I do not want this to go to the neighbors and to spread in society. Yes, those are concerns. But when we talk about domestic violence, we are talking about your health and your safety. Do not stop yourself from going and actually reporting it to the police in case you feel that things are escalating and your health welfare is in danger. Now, all this being said, the one thing that you need to keep in mind is that yes, we all require help in the form of probably counseling. So there are counseling centers where you can go to. Today, because of technology, we also have online counseling. So we all know it feels so good to just express ourselves and tell someone what we feel. It does feel good, right? So you can probably go to counseling, get an ability and get the chance to talk about your issues to another person, get a third person's perspective, how you yourself can change your attitude and your behavior that will reflect in your partner, and probably he or she would then stop their violent behavior. So all these are a few things that you can do or that you can share with your friends who are in this situation. That being said, stay safe, and if you are a victim of domestic violence, take care of yourself and be resilient. Build yourself in such a way that you can be a self-sufficient person, because that also helps in such situations. I hope you like this video, and do share your comments with us in the comment section below. You can also share this video with others and like our channel. Till then, it's me, Andrea D'Souza, saying thank you.